So, today is a windy day, something that I am very used to in the mountains, and what it takes me back to is my old strategy for fishing on these windy days, particularly in my new fishing sandals, homemade. Being very careful where I wade, not because of the slipperiness, because these things have good studs that I put in the base of the sandals, but you quickly realize that a lot of these rocks are not just slippery, they're also sharp. So I'm being a little gingerly with how I wade. But as far as the wind is concerned, my approach has always been to completely change the drifts I'm trying to get. I only have what I consider a comfortable amount of fly line off the reel for casting in the wind. Today it's a downstream wind, so it definitely affects it, but I have a comfortable amount of line off the reel, and that's all. I'm not trying to get any beautiful long casts out there, but I'm working the water differently. I'm making additional drifts on each line. Oh, that's a good fish. That was such a cool take. Oh, that was awesome. Purple McStimmy, and that was one of those kind of lazy takes. But what I do is I change my whole mindset when it's windy out. I'm not trying for the perfect long ass drift, but rather, oh good, perfect. But rather what I'm trying to do is just pick a piece of water and make sure that my fly gets a decent 8 to 20 foot drift in each little chunk, and then I move upstream. And it just keeps it more comfortable, because as soon as you get too much fly line off the reel and you're trying to make some big long cast and a big long drift, it gets very frustrating. But so far so good with these sandals. The 59-degree river water feels awesome on my ankles up to my knees. I picked a wade today that I knew was going to be pretty low key as far as my need to really be stepping over big old rocks and whatnot, but I got greeted with a fish right when I got here, and had another look as well. But yeah, I mean, the wind is just another challenge to an already challenging undertaking, and living in the mountains and fishing this stream all the time has really made me adjust to the fact that, I mean, I just plan on there being wind, because on average there is. And then you get those bonus days where, for whatever reason, there's no wind, and it's just great. But when I first started fly fishing, I think I dreaded the wind. I remember we would drive from western Washington to eastern Washington to put our float tubes in and fish these lakes like Lenore and Lake Lanise, and Nunnally, and it was like clockwork. If it was raining on the west side of the Cascades, never fail, it was going to be blowing on the east side. And that's just a weather phenomenon that is well established. And so being out in a float tube on those lakes, the wind sucked. The wind really sucked. It made it such that not only was fishing hard, but just keeping your float tube in the right position was impossible. And I mean, there were days we flat out got blown off the lake. But like I say, if you go into fishing in the wind with the mentality that you're going to get shorter drifts and that you're going to be making shorter casts, but you have the same desire to cover the water, then you just make the adjustment, and it's that much better when you overcome that challenge and hook into a big fish. So since today is the field test day for my do-it-yourself fishing sandals, kind of a walking or waiting review, I can say one thing that I missed right off the bat. God, I'll bet the microphone is just messed with by this wind. Ankle support. I totally forgot that what you give up by not wearing wading boots is that little bit of ankle support that, I don't know, wading on these kind of rocks that we have here, kind of take that for granted, because you put your foot down kind of crooked between two rocks and that ankle support isn't there. But hey, wet wading is where it's at. The water is 59 degrees. The air temperature is about 80 today, so it's perfect. Now if this afternoon breeze would die down, that'd be great. Oh. Yeah. Look at that. It's just knocking my fly down. But we do get little breaks. It's kind of a gusty wind through this canyon. And it doesn't blow constant. So you just pick your times to get a cast out there. And you just keep realizing that it beats the hell out of, even a windy day beats the hell out of just sitting at home. Oh, I'm just forcing it, trying to force it through that wind. There we go, there's a little break in the, there we go. See, you get those little breaks in the wind, and then you can get the fly on the water and make a good long drift, and then wait for the next break. We got into a beauty here. Look at this. I believe this is a big male that just got back from his spawning trip, whether it was in the main river or in one of the tributaries, but I wish I had the camera running when he took, because it was the coolest lazy take where they just kind of roll over on your fly. And for his size, he's not fighting all that well, and he's got all that color, and that makes me think that he's kind of worn out from his previous activities, because a fish this size in a lot of cases will go on amazing runs. But look at the colors on this guy. That is just a beautiful buck. And he even has a scar, which I'm assuming comes from his recent battles Oh, look at that. Come on, buddy. We got you. All right. Look at that. All right, let's see if he's just as calm in my attempts to handle him and get my fly back. Nice hook up in the lower jaw. Oh, I'm gonna put him back in the net. I'm gonna need the tweezers for this one. All right. Come on. Yeah, he even feels different. Oh, I just can't get a hold of the fly there. Nope. There we go. Oh. So in steelheading terms, we call this fish a snake. And the reason why is it's all skinny, and handling this fish, it's got a super soft belly. Definitely just finished up spawning. So I'm gonna really make sure this one goes back healthy, but from a length standpoint, I can tell you that's an 18-inch cutthroat. Look at that. All right, let's swim him a little bit. Make sure he's healthy. Obviously, he felt like feeding. I don't see any blood. So we're just gonna hold him here for a second. Oh, he's trying to go. All right, let's watch him for a second. There he goes. He looks healthy. All right, I still have eyes on him. He looks like he's partly rolling over on his side, but he is in a lot of current right there. And I don't know what the camera picks up on because I have polarized glasses on. But it looks like he may be on his side. Nope. Now he looks like he rolled back over, got upright. Oh, that was a beautiful cutthroat. Hope he makes it. Now here's a fish that is nowhere near the size, but is hot as heck and taking a run out into the heavy current where it's gonna feel even bigger. Not only that, but there is a golden stone hatch going off that just started a couple of minutes ago that is just explosive. So it's no surprise that my purple McStimmy, and if you look back, you'll find a short tying video, literally 1 minute long. The fly that this trout took, I literally tied in the video. I mean, the actual fly was the one that I was tying for the short how-to video. Oh, I got him back on the softer water, but he's not quite ready to come in. Oh, perfect release. All right. I love it.